Okay, my name is qualified. 'Cause I'm qualified to be speaking on whatever I'm speaking on when I'm speaking on it. And I'm not just subject to one qualification. I'm qualified in many areas. But this video gonna be about the truth about drugs, as you see from the title. Um, I'm finna get in. I'm gonna be explaining. I'm gonna break down where drugs come from. I'm gonna break down what we know about drugs, and I'm gonna break down what the government know and what they're not giving us. And once again, like I said, power is in words, but not every word. Power is in the way you speak and present the words. And I'm going to show y'all how just how the government know that power is in words by the simpleness of drugs. So with that being said, let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and break it down off top. This gonna capture a lot of viewers and it's gonna lose a lot of viewers. So drugs, all drugs, not all drugs, but most drugs, the top three, top four. Alcohol I consider a drug, but we're gonna for this video we're gonna consider it a drug, but it's alcohol. Alcohol and liquor. Same thing. Beer and alcohol, beer and wine, liquor, gin, uh, rum, whatever you want to call it. I'm talking about that, and then beer, like cans of beer. So weed, cocaine, and mushrooms. All of those four are the top four main drugs that we know that's mixed or put in everything. But those top four drugs right there are healing potions. All those drugs are healing potions. And that right there may lose a lot and gain a lot of y'all viewers. By me saying those, and I'm gonna break down and show you how those are healing potions. The first of all, like I said, power is in words. The government know. So this is why they call it drug abuse. First of all, power is in words. If I hit somebody one time, what is that considered in the eyes of the law? That's an assault. I just performed an assault on you. If I smack somebody one time, that's an assault. Same as I'm gonna give an example. Same as if I got a cup of orange juice and I take a sip of that orange juice, I just you can technically say I assaulted the orange juice because I took one sip of the orange juice out of a full cup. Boom. If I want to beat something up, if I want to put some, if I beat somebody up, if I hit them two times, one, two, what is that? That's not an assault no more in the eyes of the law. In politicians, that's uh that's abuse. I just abused you. If I hit you, boom, 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 that's an abuse. If I got this cup of orange juice and even though I only need that sip, but I'm abusing that orange juice. Not necessarily. I'm just giving an example. But abuse is more than once, and assault is one time. So you can verbally assault somebody. You can verbally abuse somebody. If I call you out your name, I just assaulted you. But if I call you out your name and say this and say that and say that and keep doing it, I'm abusing you. I'm verbally abusing you. So this is why I say the government know this. Everything is out there, man. Everything that we need is out here. We just need to weed in and weed out and know, man. It takes knowledge. It takes being woken up. It takes the knowledge to know. That's why they're trying to dumb us down, man. And it's working because a lot of y'all out here dumb. So they call it drug abuse. It's called drug and alcohol abuse. It's only called drug and alcohol abuse because you're doing it more than one time. You're constantly doing it. You're constantly doing it. Liquor is a healing potion. Specifically, all of the above are potions, but mainly when you think of potions, you think of drinks. A potion is something you take. You don't necessarily need to smoke marijuana. Marijuana is not to be smoking. Smoking is just the easy way of doing it. Marijuana is to be broken down, eaten, put inside of things. Eat it in a salad. Of course, it's gonna taste nasty. Good things for you. Prunes taste nasty, but you can bake it. Smoke is bad for the body. The smoke itself, vaping, whatever, all that puffing, whether it's sugar water and you vaping some smoke in your body, smoke itself is not good for the inside, internal organs. So let's go ahead and start with number one. Notice this though. Notice that they don't show you the ingredients on how to make liquor, beer, alcohol, whatever you want to call it. I don't even think they even show you the ingredients on how to make alcohol for rubbing alcohol. And I ain't even talking about that. But I wonder, can rubbing alcohol get you drunk? But I wouldn't try that though. I'm just saying. So I'm finna go ahead and pull up alcohol. We finna look up into alcohol. Liquor. Same thing. Let's see. Maybe I need to type in liquor. So let's get this started. Uh, I'm just not, and this may be a part two, but this may be a part two video. But for the most part, I'm gonna try to go in because I ain't got a lot of time or whatever. So liquor or distilled beverage is an alcoholic drink produced by the distillation of grains, fruits, and vegetables or sugar. Meaning that if you don't know what that means, let's get a clear definition of distillation. Distillation, also classical distillation, is the process of separating a component of substances of liquid mixture or two or more chemicals, discrete substances, the blah blah blah, whatever they, whatever. Let me break it down in everyday terms. Nobody knows where liquor comes from, but obviously we see. Obviously we see. They say step on grapes, you'll make wine. That's not necessarily true. Grapes has to sit. So notice this: if you got some grape juice, you can have just pour a little bit of grape juice in a bottle and leave that bottle in a cabinet for like a month or two, maybe even more. Guaranteed, when you come back, that bottle gonna be hard, like you done pour it's a bottle of soda. You open it's gonna it's gonna smell nothing but liquor. That's distillation. That it's separate. It's um you can say fermenting. It's basically doing on its own, separating the sugar from the I don't know why the word enzyme is popping in my head, but it's separating itself and it's making its own. It's killing all the sugar that's in there. It's whatever. It's hard to break it down, but you get what I'm saying. You can do that with grapes. You can do that with orange, oranges, orange juice, orange peelings. You can do it with, and for all of y'all weed growers out there, you don't need all this special dirt. This off topic, but you don't need all that special dirt, man. All you need is orange peelings and outside dirt. Outside dirt has everything you need, all the nutrients, vitamins, whatever. That's all you need is outside dirt, and you can throw a little fruits and vegetables in there that you commonly eat at home, and even eggshells, and you're gonna have the best weed there is because it's all natural. But the fruit, I mean, you oranges, you could probably do it with grapefruits. You can, what else? Just things like that. Um, boom. Grains are wheat, yeast. Those things are like that's why people's stomach get big and you feel when you drinking beer, it goes straight to your stomach because it's high in yeast and high in grains and wheat. They doing whatever in them factories and processing this stuff for us to drink. They don't want you to know how to make it because if you made it on your own, you wouldn't go to the store. And not only that, it probably heal a lot of things that's wrong in your body. Like I said, liquor is a healing potion. You only abuse it because you're drinking the whole bottle. You're not supposed to drink the whole bottle. You ain't supposed to drink to get drunk. You're supposed to drink it to feel it and feel it pass through your body. Them are the side. Everything has a side effect, and that's the side effect of liquor. The side effect of liquor is laziness. drunkenness, sloppiness, whatever. It brings out the boldness. Everybody know the side effects of liquor. And when you wake up, that's the morning after effect. When you wake up with a headache and this and that, whatever, whatever, you treated the liquor wrong. You're not supposed to wake up with headaches or none of that with liquor because you're over drinking. That's over abuse. So take a shot. Where you think shots come from? Where you think a shot comes from? Where you think shot glasses come from? Them. That's the right amount of the healing potion you need. You take that, uh, heal it. I mean, hit it. It go through your body. It's killing. It's going through your body. It's a natural process. It's going through your body and killing things through your body. That's why it's called alcohol. Because rubbing alcohol, what it does, kills and heals at the same time. It closes wounds and eat the things around it that's bad. So let's finish the story. I mean, finish the. I don't even really need to read that because I know the process. I mean, I know whatever. The page is up. You can read it if you want. I may need to zoom. I'm not even gonna zoom in. You can read it if you want, or whatever, whatever, and or not. Go and pull it up yourself. I'm just gonna break it down because I pretty much know about this. It's natural knowing about liquor. Like I said, it's only called abuse when you do it too many times. When you do it more than you're supposed to. You look it up. Look up abuse and let me look it up for you. Abuse and what I say? Abuse and ass- assault. Make a physical attack. A physical attack. Boom. I just gave an example as a punch, but I can push you. I just assaulted you. But if I bing, 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 get down, start hitting you, or push you, pick you back up, push you again, I'm assaulting you because I mean, I'm abusing you because I'm doing it to get. I'm doing it more than once. So boom, make a physical attack on physical attack. Blah blah. Let's Google abuse. Like I say, power is in words, man. Know your words. Know your whatever, whatever. Educate your children. Educate yourselves. Then educate your children. What does what I say? What does abuse mean? Look, use something to it. This is this is the government's whatever, whatever. But when you dealing with law, come on now. When you dealing with law, that's the definition of it. This is the they put out what they want. You gotta pay attention. All these words have root meanings and things. And I ain't saying that this have a root meaning, but I'm just saying if a word has one definition, that one definition stands in all circumstances. It just once again, things get tweaked down the line, things get changed or whatever, whatever. This is not on the head, but it's there. So it says use something to a bad effect. So they basically talking something like drugs or something. That's not it. It's exactly what I just told you. Abuse is when you're abusing it. Because you're abusing it. Just think about it. You finna beat something up. Just think about it. You finna put abuse to it. You finna You finna put some abuse to it. So let's get weed up. Marijuana. Let's look up marijuana. First of all, once again, pay attention to the words. Weed. Where does weed come from? The word weed comes from the garden. Garden. All gardeners know. Everybody that plant things know. A real planter know that marijuana is considered a weed because it looks like a weed. It grows like a weed, meaning it grows. It. If you can't grow roses next to weed, you can only grow weed by itself. You can't grow no fancy, good looking flowers next to weed because weed will kill it. Weed weed eats a lot. Weeds in general. Weeds want more than the next thing. So that's why all gardeners chop off weeds because number one, they make the garden supposedly look ugly, but weeds eat other plants and they take the nutrients from other plants once they not getting enough nutrients that they're getting. Weeds grow bigger and deeper than other plants. It's plenty of types of weeds. It's weeds out here that grow that look just like marijuana plants, but it don't produce buds, and they grow in our everyday backyards, growing on growing on fences, growing as tall as fences and things like that. Them are weeds. If y'all know a gardener, ask a gardener for real. And I know this because once again, I dibble and dabble. I'm not subject to one thing. I'm so let's Google marijuana, and they want to put it as cannabis. Newly added words. Let's get the definition of a weed. Tell me that by looking at this picture of the cannabis picture on the right, does that look like something that you would love to grow in your garden and be like, oh, this look good? Only these people now out here be like, oh, that looks good because you know what it is. But if you didn't know what it is, weed actually looks scary. A marijuana plant looks scary when you're growing it. You're like, what is that fuzzy stuff on it? Why it look like that? It does not look good. It look like it can attack you. It look like it can bite you or eat you. Or if you grab it, it like it can poke you or something. So cannabis, commonly known as marijuana, weed, and pot, is only known as weed because of what I just said. Pot, whatever, among other names, pot was a white person's name. Is a non-chemically uniform drug from the cannabis plant. Native to Central or South Asia, the cannabis plant has been used as a drug for both recreational and entheogenic purposes and in various traditional medicines. For centuries, tetrahydrocannabinol, which is a newly produced word, is the main psychoactive component of cannabis, which is one of the 483 known compounds in the plant, including at least 65 other cannabinoids, such as cannabidiol, a newly produced word. Cannabis can be used by smoking, vaporizing, within food, or as an extract. Notice they say within food, but they're not telling you how to use it within food because, like I said, it get well. I didn't say this. It gives off different effects being used different in different ways. Smoke. It takes a longer time to get it if you put it in food, but at the same time, it has to be pre-baked. It don't. You can't just throw it in food and expect to get high. You may can eat it, but you have to eat more than what you smoking. You can't just You could take a little bud of weed, break it down in a blunt, and smoke that whole blunt and be high for half the day, if not more. But if you take that little bud and you eat it, you're not gonna get high. If you get high, it's gonna take a minute to get high. It has to be heated. Like it works, it activates off heat. So all this extract and all this and that is still heated before is presented to you. Even if it's put into a liquid, it has to be whatever, pressed, whatever, that's forms of heat. It has to be broken down in order for you to use it. So, um, when I say by newly produced words, centuries ago, even years ago, didn't know what THC was, CBD, or none of this sativa, indica. Man, these are newly produced words. They only newly produced words because the government got hands of it and broke down what weed, this and that, blah blah. And once again, the government lied. You think they're gonna tell you that man, for you idiots out there, they tell you that weed is good and weed, they tell you that medicinal, whatever you want to call it, medicinal weed is good for cataracts, blah 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 blah, seizures, autism, whatever, whatever. Man, why do y'all think that if it's good, if the scientists are saying that it's good for that, why do y'all think that lazy people smoke weed, that it's not good to smoke weed, blah, 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 blah. It's not good to smoke weed when you abuse it. For example, this is an abuse of weed. It don't take a lot of weed to get high if you rolling it into a blunt. If you break that weed down and roll it into a blunt, literally, you can take 3, 4 puffs, you good for about 15, 20 minutes. You can take half that blunt and you probably good for half the day, maybe an hour or 2. But it's abuse when you smoke that full blunt, go back, smoke another blunt, smoke another blunt, smoke another blunt. You can't get higher than what you were when you were high. As in, if I smoke a full blunt now, go to sleep, wake up, and I smoke another blunt again, I'm not gonna feel the same way I felt the first time I smoked that day. That's abuse. You smoke one blunt, wait a day or 2, maybe even 3 days. You smoke again, you're gonna feel that same feeling that you got. The stomach feeling, whatever, whatever. It varies for most people, but for the most part, weed does the same thing. And a lot of people don't know. I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Weed does different things to different people, but weed opens your eyes to things that you don't see that you normally see, but it slows it down. Weed, and it may sound like I'm sounding stupid, but man, go ahead and think I'm stupid. Weed lets you see things. It slow things down. Of course, it had you feeling funny, this and that, blah blah. But if you actually smoke and you sit and you think, if you actually smoke in an environment on your own, and you sit and you think, or read, or watch TV, you see the deeper meaning to things. You start paying attention to things, man. And that's what they don't want people to know. They don't want people to see that. People so far, this world so far and so lost, man. They don't even care. They study legalizing weed left and right. They don't care because they know a lot. They know people out here is far beyond lost. People out here smoking to keep up with entertainment, to look cool or whatever, whatever. Weed is a healing potion. Not only that, weed heals the body. Weed heals the body. Weed does things to the body. When you smoke it, you feel it. You feel it go through your body. You need, first of all, when you smoke weed, you need to, I don't know. I don't have a handbook, but I done smoked it so many times, I can explain this. When you smoke weed, you need to lay down at some point in time in the beginning of it, man, and just feel the weed through your body. You can feel the weed rush through your body. You feel it stretching your body. You feel it telling you what to do. You can feel this and feel that. It may, man, whatever. Once again, weed is called a weed because it looks like a weed. Now let's look up images of weed. Let's type in weed, first of all. Let's type in weed. Look at this. Look at this. You telling me this looks, if you didn't know what weed was and you walking through a field and then the next field you see is a field that looks like that. You telling me that you would walk through that field and feel nothing like, oh man, if I see that, I'm thinking something's in there gonna hop out at me. I'm thinking it's like, what is that? Is something gonna poke me if I walk through there? But people, humans are so adventurous and so much of explorers. Somebody had to try it. Somebody went through trying some stuff. But once again, I got a video coming out. Weed also is something that the Egyptians were highly into. Once again, they talk about all these healing features and this and that off of weed. Weed has a lot of capabilities. So is mushrooms. Mm. Let's get to the next step. Mushrooms. And I don't know too much about mushrooms because I ain't never popped a mushroom. But I know this. Mushrooms are natural. They say psychedelic just like weed. It ain't psychedelic, man. It's performing. It's your mind already has an imagination. You imaginate everything every time, all the time. Weed just enhances that imagination. Mushrooms just enhance them in that imagination to where you can picture it like a TV. That's why I say weed slows down and let you get to thinking of things. Because if you can go past that imaginative state, if you can get your mind past that imaginative state, the mind is very powerful and strong. If you can get your mind past that imaginative state, you can start seeing what weed does actually to the mind. You can kind of so much weed does so much, you can kind of feel the next person's feelings. You can feel what the next person want. You can know how to talk to the next person if you high and not abusing it. If I smoke a blunt right now and I'm around a group of people, it don't matter how many people I'm around, but if I'm around a calm setting, I can tell pretty much everything about, not everything. I'm not a psychic, but I can pretty much know the overview of a person. Weed does that. They're not gonna tell you that. And to people like me that speak that know that, I'm gonna be made look like a fool. I'm gonna be looked at as like a fool because I'm not the typical American that agrees with typical America. They bash and shame drugs and people that use drugs, and they want to put weed on black people. But the truth is, weed's been around for years and everybody use it. But black people is the epitome of everything. Take that. And if you don't know what epitome means cause of, the bottom of. Black people is somehow always the cause of everything bad. Why? And they want to make weed bad. Why is drug dealers shamed and bashed when the government is selling it? I just seen an ad. I just seen the thing. This was when Biden was in running for president recently before he dropped out. I just seen something where Biden was one of his things was, which is a part of the Democratic Party. Whatever they mention, regardless if they do or don't mention it, Kamala didn't mention anything about lowering the prices on prescription drugs, but that's a part of their plan. It don't matter if they mention it or not. It's still a part of their plan. He mentioned it, she didn't. It's still a part of the Democratic plan. Whether whether George Bush mentioned it and Donald Trump don't mention it, it's still part of the Republican plan. So one thing is Donald, I mean, Biden was like, he gonna lower the cost on prescription drugs. Why? Isn't that the problem? Isn't opioids the problem right now? Why would you lower the cost? Why would you lower the cost on prescription drugs when opioid is at its highest right now? And opioids means, I know everybody know what that means. Opioids is drugs, pills, prescription pills, oxycontin, uh, Vicodin, Xanax, all that type of stuff, man. Percocets, all of those are opioids, man. And you ain't getting those by just knowing somebody. You getting those from knowing somebody that's got a slight, that whatever illness they in there faking for the pills, or you know somebody that got a real problem and they selling them pills. Or you may be plugged in with a pharmacist that's whatever. But at the end of the day, opioids, pills ain't coming from the hood. They making their way into the hood from things like I just said. It's coming from the pharmacies, man. So, once again, black people are put at the epitome of pills. But they make billboards, protect our this and that opioid crisis because a lot of white people own pills. That's majority. Majority people pop pills is white. It's in the hood, but man, ain't nobody popping no pills like that. These people that want to be part of something, people that's lost, people that's this, that's that, want to follow trends, popping pills, man. So let's go ahead, move along. Before I go to mushrooms, let's go to cocaine. Cocaine gonna knock you back. Tell me, I'm still stuck on that. I don't understand how people bash drug dealers when I'm not telling you to take the drug. I'm just selling you the drug. So how you gonna bash a drug dealer for selling a drug that you're taking? I didn't tell you to take the drug. You obviously know about the drug already. You want to try it. Or you obviously know about the drug already. You're gonna use it and you don't care what nobody's saying. Why give me time for the person taking drugs? Like if the person died, that's person's responsibility. It's not mine. Like how you gonna bash a drug dealer for selling drugs because it's out here already. Who's putting it out here? People pay attention. It's not just magically appearing out here. The government is putting these things out here. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with people, man. Like, y'all brains are seriously failing y'all. Like, do something with it. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. Literally. Let's get up cocaine. I ain't talking about crack. I'm talking about cocaine. Crack is chemically mixed, like heroin, like meth. I'm not talking about drugs like that. I'm talking about natural drugs, like cocaine. Cocaine comes from a plant. You should know that. Let's get into let's get it. God ain't gonna put nothing here on this earth that hurt us. And they got the elements to break this down. What is that? Three hydrogens, one carbon, and a nitrogen, and an oxygen. CH, I don't know. So all that, so you telling me that makes what cocaine? But you got the periodic table to make cocaine. You got elements to make cocaine, but what elements make weed? Get out of here with that, man. Cocaine is natural. It may not be it may not be let's get into the definition. Cocaine is a tropane alkaloid. Alkaloid, what? Salt, batteries? I'm not let's I'm not. Is a tropane alkaloid that acts as a central nervous system stimulant. As an extract, it is mainly used as a it is mainly as an extract. So it's an extract from something. So let's go back. Cocaine is a tropane alkaloid that acts as a central nervous system stimulant. Central nervous system stimulant. So cocaine stimulates the whole body, not just one part, the whole body. As an extract, but it's a tropane alkaloid. We're gonna have to go back on that tropane alkaloid. As an extract, it is mainly used recreationally, often illegally. How? How is it used illegally if we don't know about it? If this is people not just chemists in the basement making crack and making drugs, like where does it come from? We had to have a blueprint from somebody. Scientists, the government got hands to everything. And they got hands to scientists, the best scientists of the scientists. And they mixing and working and making things. And they putting it out here. So you telling me some black dude was in his basement experimenting and cooked up some crack, experimenting and cooked up some heroin, experimenting and cooked up some meth. No, it was presented and that now black people running with it. It's our only option on the side to make some money. We can't just go get no out of the ordinary job like white people. We can't just be a assistant 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 bed manager, some stupid made up job, and they getting paid $100,000 for it. How can I apply for that? How can I get that job? We can't be the CEO of a cookie company. Like what? Like, and the ones that are up there are whitewashed or suck ups. As an extract, it is mainly used recreationally. How you know that? And often illegally for its euphoric and rewarding effects. Rewarding effects. It is also used in medicine by indigenous South Americans, meaning black, 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 black. For indigenous don't really mean black, but it don't mean white. It means other, mixed, natives for various purposes, and rarely but formally as a local anesthetic. Blah, blah, blah. It was used as an anesthetic before it's used now, but they just seen that the side effects of what it can do and how it can do it, so they profited off of it by selling it selling it as a drug. That's what cocaine was used for in the first place. Cocaine was used in the medical field before it was put on the street. It was used as an anesthetic. Now they rarely use it, but they use it. highly in South America. They don't use it in America. It may be diluted with things, but it's so many drugs and it's so many drugs off of drugs. They don't use that. Oral gel is a part of the cocaine family. It has benzocaine, which comes from the same branch of plants. Bet you didn't know that. It has a numbing agent in it. It's not normal. As a local blah blah or diagnostic tool by medical practitioners uh, in more developed countries, meaning more non-third world countries. Brazil and things like that is. I'm not sure. I ain't never been there, but I'm thinking it's just certain places is third world countries, and I'm thinking Mexico's a third world country, but I'm thinking they use, of course they whatever, but I'm saying in the medical field. I'm not sure. It is primarily obtained from the leaves of two coca species native to South America. North America, United States have hands in all across the world. Is embassies and bases in almost every country there is in the United States have owned them. The United States have hands in every country. So if something is new here, the United States want it. And that once again goes back to what? White people. Oh, I got a video coming out about that too. About America and the movie world on how America is being portrayed, and how America was built supposedly by Christopher Columbus. I got a video coming out about that. So look out for that. It is primarily blah blah after after extraction from the plant and further processing into they ain't gonna tell you how they process it. How you process it though? Further processing into cocaine hydrochloride. So that must be that CH hydrochloride. Or is it the H3 with the C? Because it's three. Whatever. The drug is administered by being either snorted, how you know that? and a typically and applied typically to the mouth or dissolved and injected into a vein. And how you know that? Crack, crack is dissolved and injected into the vein. Cocaine is sniffed, smoked, or maybe even mixed in a drink. It can also be turned into freebase. Who comes up with the name freebase? A scientist. You telling me crack comes from black people. Crack comes from the hood. Crack, the name comes from the hood. Not no freebase. Freebase was the name that a scientist came up with that put it out here. And they call it, and the government going with it, call it freebase. Freebase is gone, long gone. They don't use that name because it don't even click or rhyme. It ain't got a rhyme. It's just, let me get some freebase. Like, what? Let me get some crack. Let me get a hit, blah, blah, whatever. In which it can be heated until subliminated and then vaporized vapors can be inhaled. Cocaine stimulates mesolimbic pathway in the brain, meaning they done research and crack people brains open and all type of stuff off this stuff and everything that's we dealing with, they done that with. Mental effects may include an intense feeling of happiness, sexual arousal, loss of contact with reality, or agitation. Meaning, weed does that. Cocaine does that. They saying it more profitable on the street than in the medical field. So that's why it's out here like that. It's being abused. It's not being used the way it's supposed to be. Like I said, all these drugs are healing potions, or magic, or potions, healing potions. They have to be used effectively. They not being used right. That's why it's called drug abuse, man. Follow me. It's called drug abuse for a reason. They know this. That's all I got to say about that. But let's look up coca leaves. Should have poke a plant, but it's gonna take us there. This look like some stuff that grow in the backyard. The poisonous ivy that they say don't touch. It's looking like poison ivy in the back. Maybe not. From a distance, it did, but we don't know what we dealing with around us, man. That poison ivy that we grow in the backyards and stuff on trees and around and on gates could be something, a drug. But I'm pretty sure they done experimented on that and is they know it's not safe to use, but it's safe somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And imagine this though, the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden, in my mind, if it's found, if anybody know where it's at, the Garden of Eden have a plant of everything, have a tree of everything, have some. The Garden of Eden is over there where it's tropical weather, hot, not necessarily tropical weather, but it's hot. It's lions. It's wild lions running around. We don't have wild lions running around in the United States. They all caged. It's wild lions running around in Africa. It's monkeys running around in Africa. It's tigers running around in Africa. So why in the world would it not be a banana tree in the Garden of Eden? Why would it not be weed, marijuana in a Garden of Eden? Why would it not be tomatoes in everything? Why would it not be at least one of everything, if not multiples of everything in the Garden of Eden? God ain't gonna put nothing here that's gonna hurt us. But anything that's good for us can hurt us. Once again, it ties into with abuse. You can drink too much soda and die. You can drink so much. Let's go back to the cocaine real quick, because I missed some on that. You can drink too much soda and die. You can drink too much water and die. Up. Let me go ahead and get where it was at. 'Cause I did previously try to make a video on this, but I'm getting back on it. But anyways, nicotine, the nicotine, caffeine, man, all of those are parts of drugs that has something addicting in it that comes from cocaine, coke, whatever. Let's see if I can get it up. I think it was here. But anyways, you get where I'm going with it. Coffee beans. Why is that safe? But people addicted to coffee. People addicted to energy drinks. People addicted to cigarettes, nicotine, caffeine. People addicted to that stuff. Those are all drugs. Them are safe drugs though, because anybody can use it. But ain't nobody. We not really supposed to be drinking soda. We ain't supposed to be smoking cigarettes. But it's highly addictive to people for some odd reason. And in my mind, cigarettes is addicted to people for whatever that that probably that whatever that menthol, that whatever effect of I don't know, because I don't smoke cigarettes. That whatever effect of the cigarette, it has that piece of addicting, just like a soda. That that I can see how soda can be addictive, just like that. That when you crack it and you take that first sip, it's addicting. It makes you want more. So where if you ain't drunk a soda in a while, you're like, dang, I could drink a soda because you know how that taste feel. You know how good it is. And people be like, cigarettes do this, do that. Man, a cigarette only calm you down because you're slowly meditating. To meditate, you don't need to sit in a room alone and do like this or to yourself. No. To meditate is to think to yourself in a quiet place. You can be at work, in an office, you quiet, you writing on papers. As long as you sitting there thinking to yourself and you got a smooth and calm mind, that's meditating with nothing on your mind. That's meditating. You smoke a cigarette, you taking deep breaths, you're meditating. People don't know what it is out here, but it's things out here, and man, mankind slowly losing and getting lost. It's funny, and it's some severe times approaching for real. And I got a video coming out about global warming, how it's not real for all you scientist believers. Obviously, science is not real. Because how can you explain the unexplained? You can't explain the unexplained. Scientists can't explain the unexplained. But I can't find it. I don't feel like going into it. Like I said, I ain't got a lot too much of time, but I got enough time, certain things. So let's get on mushrooms. Mario, the game even shows us how mushrooms can be good. Mario jumping off, eating mushrooms, getting bigger, getting strength. That ain't just come out of nowhere. Wild mushroom out of all the things he can eat. He could have ate a piece of broccoli or something. Why he eat a mushroom and grow 5 feet taller and stronger and spitting out fire? Come on now. Things speak to us. A mushroom or a toadstool is a fleshy spore bearing fruiting body of a fungus, typically produced above ground on soil or in its food source. Toadstools generally denotes one poisonous to humans. What? Like I said, I don't know too much because I ain't took them, but they're natural. They comes from the earth. It's grown. You can go outside in the springtime and see mushrooms around trees. I'm not sure if you're supposed to eat those or what. Nobody knows about those. But once again, I would assume the Garden of Eden have one of everything. Come on now. The same things that kill us can heal us. But the same things that heal us can kill us. The standard name for mushrooms is cultivated white bottom mushroom. Hence the word mushroom. is often is most often applied to those fungi that have blah 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 blah. Let's see what they talking about on the healing side. Because we eat mushrooms on pizza. You can go buy mushrooms at the store. There's many uses for mushrooms, but which mushrooms get you high? You don't know. The government got people out here and experiment and touch things. People have died to experiment. You know, people have been killed off experiments. Come on now, if they enslaved us, which is evident, people were slaves. You don't think they was experimenting with slaves and things like that and trying things? People just, I ain't gonna lie. For the most part, I feel like I done covered enough to get y'all to understand that these are not drugs. They're healing potions. They're only drugs. They're called drugs because they're not accessible to the public easily. You got to be 21 to get some liquor from the store. I don't know how old you got to be to get rec- recreational marijuana, but I'm assuming 18 because you got to be 18 to smoke a cigarette, which is not good for you. Why 18 to smoke a cigarette but 21 to drink liquor? They want to keep you dumb. They want to make you feel as bad. They want to make you feel you're not mature enough to drink no liquor at the age of 18, but you old enough to smoke a cigarette, which kills your body. Nothing about a cigarette heals. You can't get medical marijuana is you got to have a whatever if it's any difference. If it's any difference. And like I said, man, America is brainwashed. We brainwashed to believe black people with dreads. If you see a black person with dreads, you know how many times I done walked up to you don't know how many times I done walked past somebody or I done walked in a store or some people walk past me scared because I got dreads. America is to believe black people with dreads is a killer, a thug, dangerous, ain't it no good, no whatever. But the white is soft and innocent and drugs is not good. Come on now. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. And one thing before I go, like I said, I got videos to come. I just feel like black people can't be racist. You can only be racist if you're a black person if you don't like black people. If you're a black person and you don't like your own, and you one of those people that I don't mess with them, or I don't want to hang around black people, or I don't like hanging around my people, you're racist. Like, move around with that. I don't want to be around you as much as you don't want to be around me. We can't be racist because we're not like first. Every race don't like black people, and it's because of what's being portrayed. Like I said, this is touching on, but I got a video coming out on this. Every race don't like black people. Like I said, we're the epitome of everything. But I can be racist. How can I be racist when I'm not like first? Every race don't like us, but everybody ain't racist. Every person is people in the races that mess with black people, that like black people. But for the most part, when it come down to it, they're gonna ride with their race. When it come down to it, they don't like us. But like I said, all ain't the same. It's some people out here that will fight for us, that will fight for black people. And it's some black people that will fight for the other side. But at the end of the day, black people can't be racist. And once again, if you like what I'm saying, subscribe, like the video, share the video. I got more videos to come, but once again, subscribe, like, share the video. And if you feel like what I'm saying is wrong, back your stuff up with hard facts. And then shut me up. But until then, that's all. That's it.